Good morning, everybody. Appreciate everybody coming here this morning as we draw attention to a critical issue that my constituents are facing, as well as a lot of my colleagues' constituents are facing around the state. This is a top priority, resolution of this problem for a large portion of the state. Now, my office has been inundated, flooded with constituent calls, complaints about the FOID card renewal process and the extreme delay that is caused at the state level. Now, this started late last summer where we would have a few calls into the office and we would be able to reach out to the state and get the issues resolved and help expedite the process. But since then, we have just been inundated with calls. It's gotten to the point where we get multiple calls every day. And this is probably the main thing that my office, my district office, spends their time on. I would say almost 90% of their time every day is taken up dealing with FOID card renewal issues. And so you have several problems here. The first thing is that you are taking law-abiding citizens who are trying to exercise their constitutional right to bear arms, and you're creating a problem for them being compliant with the state law. That's a serious issue. These people are trying to do the right thing, and I've got some constituents with me this morning that are going to talk a little bit about some of the issues that they've faced. Now, I've long thought that the FOID card system was an infringement on our Second Amendment rights, but let's leave that issue aside. That issue is being litigated in the court system. You have a problem where mismanagement of this system is causing real problems for law-abiding citizens. And so while we've sought answers to this, we've gotten some disturbing facts from the state. First of all, we've learned that this system has been chronically understaffed. And as far as resources go, between fiscal year 15 and 19, almost $30 million of money has been swept out of the funds that manage these programs. That's no way to manage a state program. And so not only are you causing a problem for these law-abiding citizens, but this seriously lacks fiscal transparency. And it is no way to manage a state program. And quite frankly, you're setting the system up for a catastrophic failure. With that, I would like to turn it over to my colleague, Representative Charlie Meyer, who's going to talk about some of the issues in his district.
Good morning. I'm Charlie Meyer from the 108th District. When I took office in 2013, there were slight delays in the FOID card processing. My office receives 3 to 5 calls almost every day now. Wherever I go, I'm contacted by people that walk up to me. I have a problem with my FOID card. You have to explain the process, and you tell them that, you're not the only one that's 2, 3, or 4 months behind. There's many more. I have veterans that come to my office. They can't reach anybody at the Illinois State Police. They have to wait 3 to 4 months. I have people call, terrified, because they've received a letter in the mail that while they've been in the hospital, whether it's with cancer or heart problems, somehow they've missed sending in their application for the FOID card. And they've been notified that the state police may come and take their guns away now. Maybe that's their grandpa's gun. They don't know what to do. I've been terrified that the one of them was going to have a stroke on me right there because he was so worried about losing his guns and that he had missed this while he was in the hospital. We need to fix the program. We need to stop the raiding of the funds from the FOID cards. We don't need to hear any more excuses of the copiers broke. If we're going to enforce the FOID card and require the fees from people, we need to provide the services and provide them on a timely manner. Abide by the law that the citizens of Illinois are trying to do and being denied by the process the way it's going right now. I'd like to introduce you to Patrick Windhorst now.
Thank you, Charlie. My name is Patrick Windhorst. I'm state representative in the 118th District, which is all or parts of the southernmost 11 counties of the state. As you've heard from the other 2 representatives, the same is true for my office. This is the number 1 issue that we receive calls on in our district office in Harrisburg. And because of that, I took some legislative steps to file bills that will hopefully address some of these issues that we've heard. The first, I believe have support here with everyone present, is to eliminate the FOID card. I filed HB 913, which calls for the FOID card to be repealed. This year, Representative Cabello filed HB 4067, which calls for the same repeal. Now, we understand the makeup of the General Assembly and the possibility that that bill will not be called or not be voted on, so there are other pieces of legislation that we feel will address these issues. The first is House Bill 4447. As you heard, there's a delay for people filing for renewal of their FOID card. That delay is running about 3 to 5 months. Right now, to apply for your renewal, you have to wait until you're within 90 days of expiration before you can apply. So that's creating a gap where people are applying for renewal and not receiving their FOID card even though they're abiding by the law. Oftentimes they're receiving a letter which they can use supposedly a substitute for their FOID card. The issue is gun dealers will not accept that letter in order to sell firearms or ammunition. So it creates a huge problem. To address that problem, HB 4447 provides that the state police will accept renewal applications within 180 days of expiration, and that there will be no change in the expiration date, meaning you don't lose any time for applying within 6 months. The second bill is HB 4450. People who have their FOID card denied or revoked can appeal that process. The issue is there is no time frame applied for response by the state police to that appeal. HB 4450 provides that the state police will respond within 60 days of any denial, any appeal of a denial, so that way the individual, if further denied on that appeal, can go to court to seek redress in the court system. Representative Dan Calkins also has a similar bill, which is HB 4591. And then finally, HB 4448 deals with a gap in our system since we've adopted the concealed carry license legislation. Right now, the FOID card time period is 10 years. The concealed carry time period is 5 years. If an individual files for a concealed carry license within the last 5 years of their FOID card time period, and they inadvertently let their FOID card lapse, then their concealed carry card will be revoked. They've been through the background check, everything's checked out with the state police, but there was just an error that occurred. This is creating a situation where individuals who are otherwise law-abiding may be charged with potentially a felony depending on how they're carrying their firearm, and they believe they're in compliance with the law. So to avoid this problem from occurring in the future, HB 4448 says that if you're in that time gap, that your FOID card will automatically be extended to the end of your concealed carry license, so that way there's no gap in the future. We believe if we can't get the FOID card revoked, which we'd like, or repealed, which we'd like, back up. If we can't get the FOID card legislation repealed, we have common sense fixes to some of these issues that will help our citizens in our area deal with the issues that they've been facing.